Hey, Organistas! Welcome to the channel Forever Orchids. My name is Tracy, and I am so glad you joined me today. Guess what? Another haul! Woohoo! I found a company online. It is called Flask and Flora, and this gentleman is in Ohio, in the United States, and he will do plant purges on a website, not a website, on a Facebook page called Plant Purges USA. And he recently did one where he had gone to a Orchid Society show and he was a vendor there and he purged a lot of the plants that he had left over. And let me tell you what, you guys need to go find this Facebook page. I'll put a link, not a link, but I'll put what it's fully called down here, right here on the bottom of the screen. And when he does these purges, oh my gosh, the amount of orchids, the different types, that's what I'm so impressed with, is the different types. He typically doesn't like Phalaenopsis, but he has had some Phalaenopsis on there. He has Cattleyas on there. Okay, you can get Cattleyas just about anywhere, just like you can your Phalaenopsis. But can you get a Habanera? Can you get let's see. Oh my gosh. There were so many I couldn't even pronounce them all. Tolumnias, those are somewhat hard to find. But he had some of those and bulbophyllums, all different kinds of bulbophyllums. Let's see what else. I've got a Miltonia coming. He just recently had another purge after I received the plants that we're going to look at today, and I have a Miltonia spectabilis coming, the dark variety, and let's see what else. Those are also, I have not been able to find many places that have those for sale. I'm telling you what, there were literally some species I had never seen before, and I did not know what they were. And didn't even know how to grow them, so I would just scroll over those. Anyway, I'm babbling, I'm rambling. Sorry about that. Let's get to today's haul. Okay, so this last purge that he did on right after he got done with this Orchid Society meeting. Alrighty, what should we start with? Oh, frags, paths. I mean, just what impressed me is not only that once I received the plants, the quality of the plants, but then also the variety that he had available. It's like your one-stop shop. What do you want? He's probably got it. Okay, let's start with this cute little thing here. Now, I'm gonna slide all of these over. I did water these today. I got these 2 nights ago, and they were watered this morning, so they're still a little wet, dripping a lot, as you can see. Oh my goodness. So I've got them on a little, it's like a little cookie sheet that has, that you can buy, and it's the metal tray, and it's got a wire grid on it. These things are great for so many uses. So I'm using them to drain the orchids after I water them. I use it in my pottery. If I want to glaze something and it'll catch the glaze. Anyway, the great little things to have. Okay, let's move on. This is, and I'm going to have to, I did not write it on the tag yet, so this is just the cross that is written on here. And I'm not sure I can pronounce this right. So this is, oh yes, Path John Nicholas, but the cross is Path Wesley Wellesani. Okay, I am not going to butcher it. Let's just put it up on the screen. How about that? Okay, there we go. Let's see if that will focus and you can read that. I hope so. This should be a just precious, gorgeous white flower. It does have the species Delinantii in there in the alba form. So this is expected to be white. Now, a lot of path breeders are trying to get smaller plants because not all of us have greenhouses. Not all of us have room for larger specimen plants. So they're breeding the plant size down, but still giving you the large flowers. So we got that one. I'm excited about that. And I mean, that's just something that I had not seen available when I look at your large nurseries that you can order online, their paths and their frags. I just haven't seen anything like that. So when I saw the picture of it, done, sold, scoop it up, scoop it up. Because he will only have anywhere from maybe one, 4 or 5, maybe. I did see one plant that he had recently that he had 9 of those, but that's typically not the norm. So when you see something that you want, scoop it up. Prices, I think his prices were in line with a lot of other places that you can buy orchids from. I feel like his shipping was a little bit cheaper than some of the larger nurseries. Um, he just does a flat rate, and that's great. Alrighty, moving on. So we got the Paphiopedilum, then I did get a frag. All right, let's see if make sure this one's not dripping. So I have a tendency I really like pink flowers. So I have a tendency to buy pink flowers. Not everything I have is pink, but I have pink cattleyas, and then I try to get the darker pinks in the phalaenopsis, but I do like the whites in orchids. And you'll see this little guy right here beside of me. And here is a yellow with a cranberry lip. And as this plant, we'll tell you about this at the end. Um, this is faded from a yellow to a golden orangey type of yellow. Really great, 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 great. Okay, so we've got a frag here. Now, I'm going to have to keep this frag in the pot that it's in. I'm going to have to keep all of them probably till next spring because we are at the end of our growing season. But this is Frag Shimmer is the name of it. And it is a cross between Frag Twilight Rocket crossed with a species Shalimii. I'm getting into paths and frags, so I need to learn their species and how to pronounce their names. But I will, of course, put up a picture right here of the flower, and down here at the bottom, I will put the name so you don't have to listen to me butcher the name. You'll see it. But this one is looking really good. It's got 2 fans on it. So I'm going to say this is the older fan. This is the newer fan because I do have a new leaf growing right here. So I'm excited about that. I'm increasing my collection of paths and frags. Okay, then we got, I like little, I like bulbophyllums. I've started to like several of those. And I have a bulbophyllum, used to be called Cirripedaliums, and I've got one that is Pulcherma, and it's not doing that great. And this is a hybrid bulbophyllum because this is a bulbophyllum daisy chain, and it looks so good. Look at the plant. I mean, I've been looking at them for any pests that may have come with the plants. I'm not seeing any of those. Get a little bit of water off there, but look at the plant here, guys. Look, it looks so good. Looks so good. Now, what I have had happen today is, I don't want, here it is I had a little one bulb that had bloomed. I've cut the bloom spike off, and it was already severed from the rhizome. So I have just made a little spot on one of the sides, moved the bark out of the way. Now, I typically like to put my bulbophyllums in sphagnum moss. This seems to be planted in bark. So we're going to see how this does for me over the winter. This is probably going to have to get repotted for my environment. I don't know that I can do bark for a bulbophyllum. Not sure. Might have to add a little bit of bark to get that little bulb to stay in there and let it root in there. But isn't it cute? And this is mature size. And I love the flower. It's a little half daisy shaped. Um, Actually, it's multiple flowers on a bulbophyllum, each of what looks like a petal on these types of bulbophyllums that look like they're part of half of a daisy. Each one of those, what we would call a petal on a daisy flower, is actually one flower on the bulbophyllum inflorescence. Okay, so anyway, love, love, love that, and I don't mind the smell of them. It's not the type of bulbophyllum that smells rotten to me. It doesn't smell like there's one in a place that I volunteer at that is no ID, but we think we know what it is. And it is a bulbophyllum that, no joke, it's in a big basket. So when that thing is in full bloom, you walk by it and you think you've walked by a horse manure farm, a horse farm, because it smells so bad. Um, but I don't, even that one, I don't mind the smell too bad. It has a little sweetness to it. I know that sounds crazy because a lot of people, bulbophyllums, they just cannot stand the smell of it. But the ones that I've got have, to me, more of just an earthy smell to them. They don't smell bad to me. Um, and I'm going to quit talking about my nose. All right, moving on to the cattleyas that I got. I got a BC Kiwi cultivar Mendenhall, and this does have an AM, I believe it is, from the American Orchid Society. So this one is potted up in a little basket inside of another plastic pot. It's got new growth right here, new growth, new growth. I'm seeing lots of new growth on here. So we'll just maintain this one over the winter. Get this one here. It's not blooming size. It's still a seedling. So we are a year or 2 years away from blooming, more than likely. But we'll get this one through the winter, get it repotted next year, and it's going to be really, really happy. All right. Then he had Cattleya Irene Finney, Spring's Best. And what got me about this one is he said that these were clones from original plants. A lot of times when you are buying orchids that would have been registered and developed 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago. This one here was 60 years ago, I believe it was. I believe it was 1964. 1964, 1969. I'm seeing two different dates on orchid roots for Irene Finney. So I'm not sure what the story is there. So um, close to 60 years. What happens is you get the original plant that gets cloned. Well, then those clones get cloned, and those clones then get cloned. And you get so far away from the mother plant that you start to lose some integrity in the flower quality. And if you think about it, and I'm going to date myself a little bit here, if anybody ever remembers what a Xerox machine is and how you would take that Xerox copy and you would turn around and copy it and copy it and copy it. And growing up in school, the teachers would pass out and it was always had that little purpley ink look to it. Well, the same thing as that. So he said that this was a clones from some of the first clones, and this was going to be better, better quality, just better. So I was like, all right, now's the time. Let's get it. So I got two of them. Remember I said that a lot of times he has multiples. So I grabbed two of them. So I've got one to gift, and I've got another one here that I'm going to keep for myself. This one has a new growth right here. This one here, that's probably an older pseudobulb. Probably so. Now this is the first one. Uh-oh, that's some scale. I don't know if it'll focus on that, but that is scale. So I will definitely be cleaning this off. Got enough problems as right now than to have more. So I've staked up this pseudobulb here, and then we've got this new one growing here. And then what I'm going to do is take some alcohol, wipe off all of this scale right here, and then I have got to figure out what it is I want to, in my indoor environment, what is chemical-wise that I want to use to combat the scale and the mealybugs that I have. Right now, I've been treating everything with alcohol. Occasionally, I've been putting some neem oil, but I still have to do a lot of research, and I probably need to get like a 3-in-1 to start with before I go and get the really stronger chemicals like the Phazon and the Safari type of products. All right, so let me set this one aside till we get the scale cleaned off of that one. The rest of these look really, really good. Now this one, this other Irene Finney may have some scale to it. And I didn't check whether or not this was dead or not. A lot of times you just take the scale, and if you run your finger across your fingernail across it, and if it comes off so effortlessly, then it's already dead. So this scale here is already dead. I'll still get it cleaned off. In fact, I can just clean it off with my fingers because it's already dead. Most of the time, scale, if it is attached, I can still get it off with my fingernail, but it takes a little bit more effort. It doesn't just like flake off like you could just blow it off. Okay, so we're going to set those aside. Whoops. And then this monster. Not this one here that's blooming, but this monster here. My Orchid Society has started having its society shows in the month of May. And so I got this plant here because this variety of Cattleya blooms in late April, early May. So I'm hoping to next year for the May 2025 show have this in bloom. This is a mature size Cattleya. It's already bloomed here and here. This is another bloom spike here. And I've got 2 new growths, both with sheaths coming out of them. And I am very happy with this one. This was not that expensive at all to pay for. Let's see here. Checking scale. It definitely had some scale. And I think this gentleman has a lot of his plants that he is growing outdoors. From the pictures that I'm seeing when he does the sales, it appears like, he's definitely taking them outside to take pictures, but I do think he is growing in the summer right now, a lot of the plants outdoors. And so you definitely are going to have a little bit of pest issues outside. Okay, let me tell you what this is. This is Cattleya Ken Stromsland with the cultivar Eric. Now, everything had a label in it except this one. We don't have a label in this one. Yeah, I don't see a label at all. I don't feel like it fell out, but this is supposed to be. We'll know come spring. But this is supposed to be Ken Stromland. Would you look at that picture right here? Isn't that gorgeous? Gorgeous, gorgeous. I don't have anything really in that colorway that is a blooming size yet. I've got my George King Serendipity Cattleya. That's in the peach corally colors. And then I have a Cattleya Pink Empress Juicin, and that's just a totally different pink. This is going to be more in a dark, dark pink with your darker lavenders and a darker lip. So I don't have anything like this that is of blooming size in my collection right now. So I'm excited about this one. And we're just leaking water everywhere on the counter here. So let me put that one back. All right, I told you if you waited till the end, I would tell you about this little blooming guy here. This is a bag baby that I got a couple of months ago. And a few months ago, I saw this one, and the pseudobulbs looked really healthy. And also, it had a really nice pseudobulb here that already had a sheath in it. So I thought, ooh, I have a chance of maybe getting flowers. And I did. Yes, I did. And let's tell you what this is here. All right. This is RLC Singing Willette number 5. This is a Willette Wong cross, I believe. I have to go back and look. I don't have it written on the tag here, the cross. I have that in my records. But this is a first bloom seedling, and I think it's just adorable. A little small, possibly. And with your first bloom seedlings, your flowers are going to be typically smaller anyway. As the plant matures, your flowers will also increase in size. This started out a really pretty yellow. And I've noticed as the flowers are starting to age that it is turning this golden, oh, what would we describe this as? Maybe butternut? No, not a butternut squash. That's much lighter. No, no, no. Like a honey yellow. I don't know. It's between a golden yellow that is turning. It's got some orange tint to it, so it's really nice. And hey, it's a great time of year for it to be blooming. We're starting to run into fall. Is going to start soon. We're already starting to get cooler temperatures at night. We're already starting to get into the 50s some nights. I'm having to bring my Vandas in, by the way. So I'm going to keep on. I will stop rambling here. I just wanted to show you one of the Better Grow bag babies that I've gotten. I wanted to show you that one in bloom. And until next time, guys, I hope you enjoyed this haul. Stay tuned to my channel and like and subscribe if you wish. Also share. Share this channel with other orchid enthusiasts, and maybe they will get some benefit out of some of my knowledge. I've been growing orchids for close to 30 years now. I have recently moved, and within the last year and a half, extensively grown my collection from around 20 to a lot. And in fact, I have so many that I'm having to set up more indoor grow spaces. I've got to get all of those plants that were featured in my outdoor grow space. All of those have to find a home because they typically, a lot of them were in the kitchen window. I have a massively large window that faces south in the kitchen in the breakfast area. A lot of them were there, but I have also gotten more plants since they've been outside. So I got to find room for them. So I've got some more lights that are on order, and I've got to find some shelving units and some shelving space to get everything set up so that they can come inside for the winter. So I'll keep you posted on that. Down in the description, all the products that I use, including the lights that I just mentioned. I'm using Barina, some grow lights from them, and I've got those on the shelf back here. I also have them on some other shelving units that are here. I have some desktop grow lights that I also use. Those you can see in the window here and on the top shelf, and then the bottom two shelves back here are the Barina grow lights, and all of that will be in the description if you would like to purchase any of those. I've given you the links from Amazon, really quick and simple. You can just click on that link, go straight to the product, and check it out. And until next time, guys, happy orchid growing. Bye.